Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Childless Not by Choice. Before we get started, I would like to thank my sponsors and my supporters. First, I would like to thank Morgan Air Conditioning, Sales, Service, and Installation, serving Tampa, Florida, and the surrounding areas. Morgan Air can be reached by calling 813-500-7765. That's 813-500-7765. Thank you, Morgan Air, for recognizing the vision of Childless Not by Choice and being a part of it. And thank you for all your work in the community. Next, I would like to thank Alba Digital Media for creating my website, www.childlessnotbychoice.net, and for producing this podcast. To contact Alba Digital Media for your web building and podcast production needs, visit www.albadigitalmedia.com. That's www.albadigitalmedia.com. Thank you, Alba Digital Media, for making me look good and sound good. Finally, I would like to thank Devoted, the musical duo who created my theme music. Thank you, Devoted, for your beautiful music and your awesome talent. To contact Devoted for your music needs, email devotedministries@gmail.com. That's devotedministries@gmail.com. And if you would like to become a one-time or ongoing sponsor of Childless Not by Choice, please contact me at Civilla@CivillaMorgan.com. That's Civilla@CivillaMorgan.com. Thank you so much for listening, and now on to the show. Well, hello, everyone. Civilla Morgan here. Welcome back to another episode of Childless Not by Choice, where my mission is to recognize and speak to the broken hearts of childless not by choice women and men around the world, the childless not by choice demographic on a global level. I am spreading the great news that we can live a joyful, relevant, and fulfilled life, although we did not have the children we so wanted. Before we get fully started here, I want to thank my Patreon contributors. Patreon contributors are those who have taken an interest in my platform, whether they fit the childless not by choice demographic or not. They have decided to contribute a certain dollar amount on a regular basis to help fund my dream of creating awareness and conversation for the childless not by choice community globally. Click the Patreon link for details and to become a patron. And that link is in the show notes. And once you go to the Patreon page, it will be self-explanatory. I've built out the page. It looks beautiful. And I have a couple of contributors that I would like to thank, a couple of patrons. One podcaster, Sarah Williams of the Tough Girls podcast, and one Jordan Morgan. Thank you guys so much for seeing the vision and helping me with it on a monthly basis. It is truly appreciated. And if you would like to become a patron, any dollar amount, whether it's $1 or 10 or 20 or $1 million, anything works, because the money goes right back into the platform for buying additional microphones. I'm eyeing some microphones right now that will help me go out into the field with more ease. And so I've been looking on Amazon for those lavalier mics. Some of you may know what those are, but they're basically like lapel mics that you clip on. And so I've been eyeing those and a couple of other tech things that will help me when I'm out in the field. So everything that you give goes right back into the platform to help me create awareness for this demographic. And I will also give you a little gift when you contribute $10 or more per month. So keep that in mind, and just know that anything that you give, anything that you can give, will go right back into the platform. Well, this episode will be all about gratitude. Speaking of that, 30 days of gratitude to be exact. We are in November, And by the time you hear this episode, by the time it posts, there will be maybe 2 or 3 days left in the month. So all November long, the Childless Not by Choice group, we have been writing one thing per day that we are grateful for. And we did a Facebook Live at the end of October to kick off this 30 Days of Gratitude event for all November. And to close out November, we will do a Facebook Live inside the group on November 30th from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And if we go a little over, I'm willing to do that. But the Facebook Live in October was an hour, and that was the kickoff. So the half an hour, 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. is just to close it out. And any of the women that are in the live on the 30th will have the opportunity to tell us one or two things on their gratitude list. So if you are not a member, you might want to do that, because we're just doing all these wonderful things within the group. But you have to be a member to take part. Well, in some ways, I'll get into that a little bit more, because there are people who are not in the group. Maybe they're not a part of the demographic, and they're still joining in. So you do have that opportunity. But if you are a childless, not by choice woman, please come in and join the conversation and see what the perks are to being a member. There are perks to being childless, not by choice. So, like I said, if you are not in the group but would like to create a list, a 30-day or 30-item list, you are more than welcome to do so. Use some nice paper or a nice journal book, because I suggest keeping your list in a prominent place where you can remind yourself or be reminded of those 30 things on a regular basis throughout the next year and into the future. We can create a fresh new list every year, in fact. A couple of ladies, moving right along, a couple of ladies in the group sent me words of encouragement for you. Isn't that nice? And I wanted to go ahead and start with the first one here. It's actually a poem, and it's entitled "The Other Me." It says, "I took a path I did not choose, nor thought I'd ever take. My dreams were of Prince Charming and of the babies we would make. But something really bad occurred that destroyed those dreams so dear. And who I would be without them at first was none too clear. From the shattered fragments of my old dream I once had, I saw a shining treasure, and I wasn't quite so sad. So I now pursue a new dream because I am an other. I have joy along the journey, and I'm thankful for my mother." I'm thankful for my mother too, Carol. Carol is one of the ladies in the group, and she actually wrote this poem, and I just think it's so beautiful. I hope that it resonates with many of you. I'm sure it will. Thank you, Carol, for sharing your beautiful words with us. I know it touched my heart when I read it, and so I'm hoping that it touches the listener that's hearing this right now who may be childless, not by choice. And here's another one from Janice. And Janice says, I would like to share the 4 F's: faith, focus, fortitude, and follow through. Faith in your spiritual being to nourish your soul and well-being. Focus on caring for your physical and emotional health. Don't be afraid to seek out professionals to help you and your partner cope and learn new ways to cope. Fortitude, strengthen your heart with the love and support of those who love you whenever you are feeling emotionally vulnerable. And follow through with courage in facing your future. Know you can and will find joy, love, and laughter again. Move on to live your best life. And many of you repeat listeners know I always talk about your best, most joyful life. So this was just perfect and pertinent. And so another thing that Janice sent us as just a way to, tell us how she has coped and dealt with her childlessness over the years. She said, I am grateful for my husband. Without his faithful love and support, I don't know where my journey in life would have taken me. At this moment in time, there are so many things I am grateful for, and I just don't have just one, she says. I know the above 4 F's. Well, she says there are a lot of words, but I don't think so. She said it's more like her sharing to the women who are not at the level of joy and contentment yet. And she says, once upon a time, dark times, she says, I was in your shoes. And so thank you, Janice, for that great word of encouragement. She says, aloha. So guess where she's from? So she says, aloha. And, I just want to thank Carol and Janice for taking the time to send out those wonderful words of encouragement, and I hope you were encouraged by hearing them. And so again, when you're in the group, you get to talk, to commiserate, to write. All of the women in the group have the opportunity to become guest bloggers. So I'm working on these 2 ladies, hoping that they will become guest bloggers eventually. I just actually posted my second guest blog, so make sure to check that out. I've posted it throughout the platform, and of course, it's on the website. So www.childlessnotbychoice.net, and check out the blog posts, the podcast episodes. Everything is right there on the website, and it makes it more central. Yes, if you belong to the group, you can see the posts in the group as well, or on any of the Facebook pages, Childless Not by Choice or 21st Century Hannah. But when you go to the website, you can go to the Reflections tab, which is the tab that I use for blogs, and the Resources tab if you need resources to help you with whatever your medical condition is. And of course, the podcast tab and many other tabs on there. There's a tab for the courses. And right now there's one course in there on how to create kind but firm boundaries. So there's all kinds of things available on the website for you. So I didn't mean to digress, but just keep in mind that you can be a guest blogger if you belong to the group. Well, I won't read you my entire gratitude list, but I will read you 3 things from my list. So here goes. Number 1, I am grateful for my parents and my family. I couldn't do this without their love and support, even when they did not fully understand my grief. I know they tried, and I will always be grateful to them for that. I'm also, number 2, grateful for the ability to help others through the Childless Not by Choice grieving process. Some tell me that creating this platform is a gift, that I have a gift. Well, it is my gift to you. So I'm just thankful for that. And then number 3, I am thankful for and grateful for the members on my Childless Not by Choice platform and the growth of the platform. I am thankful for the trust you all have put in this platform. And thank you for joining the Facebook groups, following on Twitter, subscribing to the newsletter, purchasing the devotional, for those of you who have purchased the devotional. And most importantly, you have told me how much this platform has helped you. So thank you. I am thankful. Well, my word of encouragement for you. Here in the US, by the time you hear this, we would have just celebrated Thanksgiving. So we are right, like we say in the South, smack dab in the middle of the holiday season. I know many of you are dreading yet another holiday season of no children to buy gifts for, watching other people's children dressed in cute festive outfits, and maybe even spending more time alone than you would like. In our Facebook Live on the 30th, we will be discussing 10 ways to navigate the holidays as childless, not by choice women. I hope you can join us. One of the things I suggest is that you concentrate on helping others. In fact, I mention helping others in different ways throughout the list. Helping others is that important to calming our nerves and our psyche. When you are considering others, it is difficult to dwell on what did not happen for you, for me. As I always say, it's not that we are ignoring our feelings. Our feelings are valid. Our hearts hurt. We feel like second-class citizens who missed out. I get it. But still, I say, we have a choice as to how we will deal with it. We can sit idly by and watch the holidays from our living room window, or we can go out and find an organization that needs help distributing, giving, helping, or listening. It's all about choice. So after this episode, there are 2 more in 2017. I feel like I'm doing a countdown. The next episode on December 11th, I will be talking to Ms. Helona Black as we discuss the war on fibroids. That is a great episode, especially if you deal or dealt with fibroids. And even if you had to end up having a hysterectomy because of them, Helona has some great suggestions for self-care. So I hope you will listen to that episode, December 11th. Well, I don't want to sign off without again reminding you to come join the Childless Not by Choice with Civilla Morgan Facebook group if you are a woman who is childless not by choice. The group has grown by leaps and bounds, and it continues to grow. There are women in there from all around the world, all on the same journey as you and I, navigating life as childless not by choice women. Come join the conversation. Don't attempt to do this alone or only with people who do not understand. And remember, there is a Childless Not by Choice supporters group with Civilla Morgan for men who are childless not by choice, and for everyone who is interested in the platform but may not fit the demographic. I will eventually get a Childless Not by Choice men only group up and running. I will let you know when that happens. I'm really, looking forward to that because there are several men in the group, the supporters group, and I really just want to separate them out so that they can talk and help each other just the way the women are. And so it's coming. It will happen. In the meantime, there are those 2 groups as well as the different Facebook pages available to everyone. So please come on by, check out the platform, join the conversation. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Childless Not by Choice. I always appreciate knowing that you've listened. I hope that you are sharing the episodes, sharing forward, sharing it with people who need to hear it, whether they are childless not by choice or not. And if you ever need to get in contact with me, my contact information is in the show notes. Remember, the website is www.childlessnotbychoice.net or CivillaMorgan.com. I'm also on Facebook at Books by Civilla Morgan, on Twitter at Civilla1, on Instagram at Joy and Relevance. You may also find me on Pinterest and LinkedIn, Civilla Morgan. And so there is a short survey in the show notes also. I'm hoping that you will take just a couple of minutes to take the survey. It goes straight to my podcast, the platform that my podcast is housed on. And so they get to see that information. It's not going to take anything real personal from you at all. So please, if you have a moment, just take that survey. I would truly appreciate it. Well, I thank you so much for listening, and I hope that for those of you who celebrated Thanksgiving, that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you will drop by the group if you are childless, not by choice, so that you can, continue to commiserate with those of us who are navigating the holidays. It's really important, as I said earlier, not to do this alone. It can get really lonely and depressing if you try to do something like this alone. That's what this group was created for. So come on by. If you have any questions at all, you can email me at civillamorgan.com or direct message me on Facebook or Twitter, and please give me 24 hours to respond. So thanks again. See you again on December 11th. And until then, have a great one. Bye.